People talk about things that actually don't exist as if they exist. Every certain times of the year, this guy in a red suit appears out of the blue, whom some know as to be Santa Claus. And it's a little, a little generally a short guy with a little heavy on the heavy side, big white beard and stuff like that. And you know, so people talk about the Santa Claus guy or thing, and they go to the mall to visit this thing that doesn't actually exist as if it exists. And you'll find this Santa Claus in the mall, sitting on a stage, and a photographer there to take pictures. He's got a Christmas tree there, some gifts, and he sits in a very nice chair and sitting there wait for you to put your children on his lap and start indoctrinating your children into the world of fiction as if things that don't exist are real. And there the journey begins. I often use the Dirty Harry movie with Clint Eastwood. And Clint Eastwood was, Dirty Harry was a kind of a good guy, bad guy. It's like, go ahead, punk, make my day. Did I fire 5 shots or 6? But now, so people talk about Dirty Harry like I'm talking about Dirty Harry now, and in our minds we have a visualization of what Dirty Harry looks like. This image of Dirty Harry, and that's Dirty Harry, and we'll talk about Dirty Harry, but there is no Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry is a person like Santa Claus. Dirty Harry is a person, a fictional being, does not exist. Fictional beings do not exist. It's Clint Eastwood that is playing the part of Dirty Harry, but Clint Eastwood is not Dirty Harry. Clint Eastwood acts for, thinks for, and speaks for Dirty Harry, because Dirty Harry's a fictional being. It can't do any of those things. And so, and that's, I purposely on this little clip here didn't record video because this is the kind of thing that's because we're talking about the mind here. This is all in the mind. It's all in the mind. Like you say, you start sitting your children down, you take your children to Disneyland, and you start seeing Mickey Mouse and start thinking Mickey Mouse is real, and Fred Flintstone and the Brontosaurus burger, those are all real. People talk about them. We still talk about them today in Popeye. Don't forget to eat your spinach, and that sort of thing. And so our minds have been thoroughly tainted, and it's for some it's very difficult to distinguish fact from fiction, or reality from fiction, or reality from a counterfeit reality, which is not reality at all. Just projections from the mind, power given through belief, I guess. So, anyhow, on that note, I'll talk to you later. Thank you. So we take that whole fictional reality thing a little further. So we're talking about Canada and Canadian men and Canadian lumber and Canadian beef. What are we talking about here? There is no Canada. It's a person. It's a fictional being. It doesn't actually exist. Yet people talk about it. They claim to be Canadians. Something else that doesn't actually exist. Or Americans, or U.S. citizens, or Australians. Every one of them, all these labels, all these titles outside of man and woman, and what you see when you look out the window, whatever we call the old tree, apple, orange, water, air, that's real. That's life. Everything else is fiction. It actually doesn't exist. It's like the Santa Claus. It doesn't exist. It's like the Dirty Harry that doesn't exist. Have you ever been taken into court and the claims being made in the name of Canada, whatever, or where, and so you want to face your accuser. These things cannot possibly show up. All they show up, they'll send a representative, but the representative's not the accuser. I don't want to harp on that. It's the whole concept. The minds have been severely tainted. Like Governor General, what's that? Prime Minister, President, Queen, what's those? It's all fictional beings. It's all persons. They don't exist. Just men and women playing a part. When you remove the mask, you take the fact that the matter is these things that they're claiming to be don't actually exist, then you're left with man to man. Men and women, that's it. And no man has authority over another. All that kind of mumbo jumbo that people believe, there's authorities. We're certain people with certain uniforms have authority over others. That's because we've been indoctrinated to believe in this whole Wonderland fictional shit thing. Think about it. A wee reminder, the rule of law. Whoever made it, owns it, rules over it. God made man. God formed man of the dust of the ground. The Parliament or Congress of whatever country made Canadian, US citizen, Australian, Brit, etc., etc., all of which are fictional beings, things imagined real. A fictional being is a person formed by or under an act of the Parliament/Congress or of the legislature of a province/state formed by men. This is not complicated. Which are you? Each has two choices of identity, this or that.